Hi, Katie. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining this session where we'll be discussing how young people can better manage their money. We are delighted to have all of you here with us, and it will be a really energetic, insightful, and interesting session. Obviously, started off by Cora's own. My name is Jennifer Kang, Head of Corporate Affairs, Brand and Marketing for Standard Chartered Bank in Taiwan. And I am delighted to be your moderator. I'm Malaysian, so I'm broadcasting from the Malaysia room, but in Taiwan. So this is a great room to be in. Through this year's research, on lifting youth participation through financial inclusion, which involved over 1,200 young people that Katie just spoke of, we've found that financial products and services need to support and help young people achieve their goals and ambitions. Young people are asking for financial information that is timely, useful, and customized for their needs. They are moving beyond classroom based financial education. 62% of young people say they don't know enough about financial products and services to use them for their personal use. And 75% of young business bank users said they assume they would not be eligible for products and services on offer. So, based on these findings, today's panel hopes to help young people through sharing best practices on how you can manage your money both for your personal life and business, and the various money management support available, and how to build your credit history and make the right investing decisions through your financial journey. And today we're joined by an expert panel of money experts to tell you just how to do this. We have Ambika Sangaran, who's the program director of Mareka, who's one of our Futuremaker partners. We also have Rashvin, and Rashvin is also from Mareka and also Group CEO of BGBG Initiative. From Standard Chartered Bank, my colleagues today, Angela Ngure, Head Portfolio Strategy and Client Deepening, Affluent Clients, and Hitesh Gupta, Director of Retail Payments. Each of our speakers will have a session that lasts no longer than 8 minutes. And if you have a question for them, please type it in the chat box. So our first speaker is Hitesh. Hitesh is an accomplished banking professional. He looks super young, but he has been with Standard Chartered Bank for over 15 years, working across a variety of roles. Hitesh will share more on what is savings, the importance of savings, and how this is different to investing. So Hitesh, over to you. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Jennifer. And thanks for calling me young. I think that's one of the reasons I would like to do sessions with young people, because it also makes you feel younger. So would like to believe that. Thank you so much. And thanks for having me as part of this clinic where we talk about the importance of financial education for young people, a theme which is so very close to my heart. So as we start our journey of being financially independent, let's start with the basic, the concept of saving money. uh, what is savings, right? When we talk of savings, so in simple definition, savings is a portion of money not spent right now and put aside for future use. Anything that we earn today but not spent today is savings. Wait, what did you just say? Not spent? Really? Then what am I earning for if I cannot spend it? Fair, valid points. So let's understand why we should save at all. There are two key reasons, why we should be saving money. Number one, to be better prepared for emergencies. The last 2 years of pandemic have clearly reminded us of how unpredictable life is and how many things can change in a short span of time. Many people lost their jobs. Some others saw a downturn in their business, and that meant that the income suddenly dried up. However, the expenses don't go away, and therefore, in such times, it becomes even more critical that we have savings, because if we don't have savings, we have to borrow, which, even if we are able to, comes at a very high cost. And it often takes years for a family to come out of that debt. Even without the pandemic, there could be usual routine issues. My car may break down. There could be a medical emergency. These are things that can happen anytime. While we cannot control when they will happen, with savings, we can be better prepared whenever they do. The second reason why we should save: to fulfill our dreams. Don't all of us want to have things which we currently don't have? That new phone, that new tablet, that holiday with my family. Isn't it? All of us dream about those things. However, we always find it difficult to do that within our monthly income. That's why we should plan and save every month in order to accumulate the amount needed to fulfill our dreams. Please remember, dreams will remain just dreams unless you plan for them. The moment you put a timeline to your dream, it becomes a goal. The moment you start saving towards your goal, it starts taking the shape of reality. And beyond these short term goals, we also dream of other things. No, starting up my own business, having a family, planning for my kids' education, and so much more. More often than not, fulfilling these dreams needs money. And therefore, it is important to save now to fulfill these dreams in future. Now, if you understand that we need to save, fair enough, how much should we save? How much is sufficient? I've seen many young people very passionately telling me that they save every penny that is left after they have taken care of their needs. And yet, they don't seem to have enough savings when needed. So, where did they go wrong? The reason is simple: you should not save what is left after spending. You should spend what is left after saving. There's a very common popular belief, which is as soon as you get your income, pay yourself first. Before you pay the landlord, before you pay the grocer, before you pay the school, pay yourself first. And that's your saving. As a thumb rule, save at least 20% of your income every month, however small your income may be. To begin with, build an emergency fund, which should be equal to at least 3 months of your income. That will come in handy in case of any unforeseen issues. Next, save for your goals and dreams. Have a mix of short term and long term goals and save separately for each one of them. Never, never let your short term goals eat into your long term goal savings. It is very important to be disciplined while saving for your goals. As they say, if you buy things that you don't need, then very soon you may have to sell things that you need. Okay, so we understand we should save. We also understand how much should we save, but where to save. Honestly, if you're just starting to save whatever you feel comfortable in a coffee can, a sugar jar, under your bed, anywhere. Just get into the habit of saving. However, subsequently, save with a bank or a financial institution. Money at home is open to risks of theft or damage, but money in a bank is safe. Moreover, you also earn interest on your savings, which helps you reach your goals faster. Start with a simple savings account, and as you start saving towards long term goals, move into term deposits, other safe investment options that my friend Angela is going to talk next in the session. Before I hand over to Angela, please remember, when you save, you're not only accumulating money, you are securing your financial freedom. You don't have to go to your friends, relatives, or money lenders when an emergency hits. And trust me, it will hit. So, in effect, by saving money, you're choosing a life of independence, dignity, and self respect. That's from me, guys. Thank you so much. Angela, over to you.
Thank you so much, Hitesh. I just wanted to say
Thank
before Angela gets on, what wonderful anecdotes you've given us. I like the fact that dreams remain dreams until you actually plan them. And so up next is Angela. She's also looking extremely young, but has spent over 15 years with Standard Chartered as well. And she is passionate about creating inclusive and sustainable financial solutions for individual clients and businesses. So today, Angela will help us to demystify investments and share insights on investing through different life stages. Over to you, Angela. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Hitesh. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. Good evening. Hitesh has set the scene for us and is telling us why it's important to build the habit of saving. So after you save, what next? What can you do to make your savings work for you as an individual or even as a business? I think the question we should constantly and continually ask ourselves is it enough to just save? I think we know maybe not. With rising inflation today, we know that $1 will not buy you what it would last year at the same time. $1 will buy you less oil, for example, today than it did at the same time last year. And also knowing very well that as life progresses, your financial responsibilities also increase. For example, you may want to start a family or pay for higher education, or you may be thinking of starting a business. Here in Kenya, if you do start a business outside of your normal day-to-day job, we call it a side hustle. So, and many people do that. Maybe you want to buy a house, pay for school fees for your children. It could be anything, medical expenses like Hitesh has mentioned, and so forth. And the thing is, to achieve all this, we need money. A quote comes to mind by Warren Buffett. He said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. And so that's the difference between saving and investing. Investments will help you generate more money, more income faster, or like Warren Buffett said, while you're sleeping. So what really are investments? Investments are assets or items that you acquire with the goal of generating income, or whatever it is that you acquire is expected to appreciate in value over time. Again, if I come back to my home country, Kenya, every time we say investments, we think of land, property, something that you can see. But truly, investments don't have to be tangible. They don't have to be concrete. They don't have to be something that you can touch. No, it could be anything. And financial institutions such as ours in Standard Chartered Bank offer these other options, such as bonds, fixed deposits, mutual funds, treasury bills. The list is really endless. Now, I'll share an interesting statistic from one of the recently released reports by Standard Chartered, a wealth expectancy report for Kenya. And what came out of it was that out of 100 people at retirement, 49 of Kenyans under 35, which is 49%, have not set retirement goals. They think or they know they will be dependent on their family or charity when they hit the retirement age. 29 will have left us, 12 will be broke, 4 will be financially independent, and 1 will be rich, for lack of a better word, or comfortable. Now, what does this really mean? And why am I talking about retirement to us young people in this forum? Yes, I call myself young. Half of us listening in are working today or have businesses and are earning money, but we do not have sight of how we will live or how we will be when we stop working. To some of us, I think retirement may seem too far. I'm young, or it'll take care of itself, or it's not even guaranteed. Who knows? I might not be here. And maybe I'll pause and bring an analogy forward. It's like building a house, really. For you to have a stable house, you have to have a strong foundation. You have to start with a strong foundation. And similarly, to live financially independent and be part of that 5% that we're saying will be financially independent and comfortable in our future, you have to start not just saving. You have to start saving and investing. Make your money work for you while you are sleeping. And you're very lucky because you're young. And so there's no better time to start than right now. As young people, you have the advantage of time. What most people don't realize, or maybe what we don't realize, is that you don't need to be an expert in personal finance to be financially independent. You don't need to be earning a big fat salary. You don't need to know about the hottest stock or, all those tips out there. All you need to do is just start saving and investing now. So you may be wondering, why is Standard Chartered and why are financial institutions talking to you about this? I think I've just mentioned in the previous, just recent previous, that you don't have to be wealthy. There's this perception that only wealthy people can invest, or you need a lot of money to just start. There is another perception that financial institutions such as Standard Chartered do not offer solutions for young people like you. Or people who are just starting out in their careers or in their entrepreneur journeys. Now, this perception is really, it can't be farther away from the truth. Today, financial institutions come to you to find out directly from you what you need. I think this forum is a typical example of that. We are here today because Standard Chartered partnered with Business Fights Poverty to conduct this research and understand what you need, what people like you need when you're starting out in your careers or businesses at this stage in your life. We also want to find out what challenges or barriers you're facing in accessing finances or even in, accessing solutions to help you save and invest. And with this in mind, with this first-hand information that we picked from you, we come back to the table as a financial institution, design and build solutions that address the issues you have raised. And we take into account things like, where are you in life? Are you starting out? Are you in the middle of, middle age, starting with a family? Are you in the retirement? We take all this information and put it together. We also consider your personality. Are you conservative? Are you a risk taker? We look at your needs. We understand what it is that you need. And then we also look at your future goals. And then we see how we can help you achieve these. So I think it's very safe to say that those days are gone where we did things the other way around, where we just did solutions, designed products, and brought them out there for everybody. And I think it's also become very clear that for an economy to thrive, everyone must participate, including young people like you who are starting out with their journey to earn. And so we ask ourselves, what part do we play as a financial institution? And now, I think more than ever, there needs to be solutions available to all. Now, I'll keep going back to my home country, Kenya, and I'll give you a very real example. I think Standard Chartered Kenya launched a fund. We call it the SC Shilingi Fund. And this fund is for anyone above 18 years old. You can invest. It is end-to-end digital. There's no human intervention required. It gives you full control over your investment decisions. And then it also considered that we need to break this perception that you can only invest with so much money. So you can get in with as low as an equivalent of $8 a month in today's exchange rate. So this is basically to ensure we all are given this opportunity to start investing and that no one is shut out. And again, like I mentioned, solutions such as these are born from research and from co-creating with people like you. And if we go back to looking at the results from when we launched in February, this solution, I think it has addressed the needs because people are happy with it and the uptake is amazing. And this awareness that has previously not been there for you has really shown that we need a lot to do beyond this SC Shilingi Fund. A few things I must stress is, and I think I'll keep on repeating, anyone can invest, you too, at whatever life stage you are in, whatever little money we have in our pockets right now because maybe we're starting off. You have a very big advantage because you have the opportunity to start early. And for you to see the value, you have to be consistent. You have to make it a habit. Like Hitesh mentioned, start saving in a can, under the pillow, wherever. Go to a financial institution. But you have to make it consistent. Don't just put money once and then forget about it. And then there's one thing that I will introduce. It's called compounding. Take advantage of the power of compounding. And compounding is simply earning interest or earning on what you have been earning, meaning earning interest on the interest you have earned on your initial capital. For example, if you have $10 a month, you invest it, you earn interest on it. Next month, don't take out the interest, reinvest the $10 plus the interest you earned, and then maybe add another $10, and then earn interest on all that. That is what we call compounding. You have to be persistent over a long period of time, and these little chunks will add up to a sizable amount. And with the power of compounding, you'll start to see your investments grow exponentially. And once you have created and grown your wealth, we should also protect it, but that's a conversation for another day. So today was mainly to get you to start thinking of investing, show you that it is the right time to start. Now is the right time to start, to let you know that these investments are available for you. It's not out of reach. There is something for everybody, and that financial institutions have solutions to address your needs at whatever stage in life you are. And finally, whether you're just starting or in the middle of your investment journey, consulting an expert can help. At Standard Chartered, we promote awareness. Our aim is to really make you literate and include you in this financial journey. And also, we give you expert advice on savings and investments at no cost. So do reach out. And I think I'll close by reminding you of that quote by Warren Buffett. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Angela. I really wish that I had Angela and Hitesh in my life when I was much younger. And I think I would have been a lot wealthier because they are giving such great advice. I mean, that quote's wonderful. And of course, demystifying the fact that you need money to invest, but you can really start with what you have. Just start. So thank you so much, Angela. Our third speaker is Rashvin, who is no stranger to global programs and events, having been on many panels. He was selected as an Obama leader in the Asia Pacific inaugural cohort in 2020 and has a degree in accounts and finance. So Rashvin's session will focus on how you can set your future income target around your envisioned life goals. So over to you, Rashvin. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Hey, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all our future makers. I'm Rashwin from America, as kindly introduced by Jennifer. And yes, what an amazing session. I really wish I'd met Hitesh and Angela before. I'll share with you a little secret. Although I did study accounting and finance, they actually don't teach you how to manage your own finance in accounting and finance. You learn about other people. So yes, we'll keep this session fun and light. So to be fair, I'm actually building beautifully on what Hitesh and Angela has shared. Hitesh hit the nail on the point where, we have our dreams, but if we don't make them into tangible goals, they stay as dreams, right? So I'll keep this session, how it'll be is I'll share a few big pictures on how do we set our dreams, the big vision goal. Now, how do we move that into short-term, medium-term, long-term goals? So having a compass and then having a little map for that compass. And then lastly is having the tools and the equipment that we can get on this journey. So we'll go through this, and guess what? We've actually made a template for all of you to use, right? It's a super simple template. I will share it after I'm done, but this template is in Google Sheet, so you can make a copy, use it yourself, and own it. So let's take a big picture back, right? When I was in my early 20s or even teens, when I was asked what was my life plan, 5 to 10 years, I had no idea. It was pretty tough, isn't it? It's quite hard to visualize. I mean, some of us would say even 2 years is hard. What more 5 to 10 years? But it is so important just to put something out there on pen and paper, just so that we could get an idea of where we want to be, right? So the first part is on vision setting, or the dream, as Hitesh shared. And what you want to do is you want to take a good 2 hours, right? Get a cold drink, get a warm drink, get a peaceful day, and just try to look forward and imagine, how would I want my life to be in 5 to 10 years from now? You want to think about things like what industry I want to be in, how much of time I want to spend with my family, my work-life balance. Do I want to live in a condo, in a house, in a family home? Do I want to have a traveling career? How much of time do I want to spend on community impact work? Is that something I do once a week, every Saturdays? So for the first part, the vision setting, you really want to just be bold, be a bit silly, be fun, right? Because you want to be bold and ambitious. You want to just put things there that you don't really know how to get there yet, but that's fine, because it'll be nice to look back in a couple of years. So you'll start with that, find a good 2 hours, get a warm drink, and imagine future project, the kind of life you want to have. Now, once you've got that, now you want to take a step back. You want to take a step back and imagine that 5 to 10 year target into smaller buckets, right? And I call them buckets. In essentially what they mean is you want to define them as short-term goals. Short-term is usually 1 to 3 years maximum, and then medium-term, 3 to 5, 6 years, and then long-term, things that are above 5 years. Now, when you're setting the short-term goals, an easy thing to do is always start with what you're doing right now, right? So if right now you're working on a particular course, you're studying something, you're working on, you're contributing to your family, you want to contribute a bit more, you want to travel a little bit, you want to buy a new device, right? So put it tangible. And in the template I'm going to share with you, we've made it, you set these goals, short-term, medium-term, long-term, but also we put a little financial target over there. Not all goals cost money, right? A lot of goals are just time, but time is also money. But also just to visualize, if you want to buy a new device, what do you need per month, right? Is it an extra $100 or $50, right? $200, what do you need per month? If you want to buy health insurance, what is that going to be? If you want to start saving, then when you go to the medium term, you want to think a bit bigger. These are things that you know you want to have, but you might not have the means just yet. Imagine things like start buying maybe a car, maybe you want to talk about down payment for a house. So these are slightly bigger things, but they are quite visible, right? That you know it has to happen. A good tip is to look at friends a couple of years older to you, right? Mentors and coaches come in really well in this. You could look at them, see how they're living, how they've gone about their career, set those targets. Oftentimes, people don't put these goals with financial numbers, and that can be a hindrance because what I want you to achieve after this with the template is to be able to see how these goals add up and how do they go into the third part, which is then the dream, the goals, and now it's making it happen, right? Not if you don't have a plan, it's not going to happen. So you want to then have a very simple but powerful budgeting sheet. Now, a budgeting sheet sounds a bit boring, but hear me out, right? It's one of the simplest and most important things you could do. Start off with just as is, right? What are you spending on monthly, right? So, okay, I've got this expenses, I've got this bills to pay. Start with that. And then you will start adding on your goals, right? So you say, okay, I want to do this digital marketing course. That's going to cost me X amount. I want to start saving for a car. It's going to cost me X amount. I want to start helping my family a bit more. It's going to cost me X amount. Now, with this, what I want all of us future makers to visualize is what is going to cost us. It's going to cost us X amount a month. And that makes our financial targets very tangible. Now, you have the first year. Now, I'll be very honest. The first year, it's usually over budget. We all have very lofty dreams. It's your career or your freelancing career might not match it yet, but not you worry, right? Don't worry at all. It's okay. It's always good to take that longer learning curve because better income comes in the years ahead. But then when you set the medium term ones, you know there's the house, there's the car, then you can see the increase that you need. Then you're like, okay, I've got to increase income in the next 3 years by 50%. What do I need to do that? Maybe I got to study this course. Maybe I got to. Then the beauty of having this in buckets and then on a budget sheet is it really allows all of us to then reflect back what are the actionable steps we need to make it happen. So that's a big nutshell picture. And we've given a simple formula that is in whatever you're earning per month, first take out 20% for your savings, right? And then 30% is usually lifestyle. 50% is your needs. So try to keep it within this bucket. 50% for your needs, 30% for your lifestyle, 20% for your savings. Now, this could change. It's not a set in stone target, but keep it that way. So that's all for me. And I'll share the link in the chat. But I've got one ask from all of us, though. It's an open link, right? And I want all of you to download it, make a copy with your own name. But you know what? Make it better. Make it better. If you think it's not good enough or there's something missing, right? Add to it and then email back to us. Say, hey guys, we've made this a bit better. We've added this and we'll share it with everybody else. So it's an open source document. Let's make everybody get better financial planning and let's contribute to our success together.
Thank you so much, Rashbin. You know, that was so energetic. And now I discover I don't only need Angela and Hitesh in my life earlier on. I needed a Rashvin as well to give me a template so I can do this myself as well. And I will check out your template. I do think, you know, no matter what life stage you're in, this is really practical and good advice. So thank you so much. Our final speaker is Ambika, and in her role at Mareka, she designs and oversees the implementation of youth development programs to prepare them for demands and opportunities of the 21st century. Ambika has a degree in sustainable tourism, and her interests span education, public transit, access to green space, and gender equality. So now let's hear from Ambika, who will share how young people can utilize remote working and global financial products for securing employment, getting started with entrepreneurship, earning an income, and building a career. Ambika, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Hi, everybody. I'm Amika. So I hope I will be able to advise or give guidance on how to find jobs, right? So how can you use financial products that are existing and available to actually get employment opportunities? As this topic goes, young people, like all of us, have goals and ambitions, regardless of where you are from, which walk of life you are from, what is your living circumstances. We all do have goals and ambitions. And as mentioned in the Futuremaker Forum's insights paper, all these goals and ambitions are usually tied to some form of financial success. And also, a lot of the time, the young people are not sure how to use the financial products and services that are available for their own personal use. Like Rash mentioned, also like he was taught to manage other people's finances, not his own finance, right? So at the same time, worldwide, young people also face shocks, stresses, daily realities, economic struggles, while in achieving their goals and ambitions. The paper from Futuremakers also stated that decent work deficit in low-income economies means the aspirations of young people too often remain out of reach. However, seeing that each young person and young generation is an opportunity for the society and the community to leap forward, we need to make decent work accessible to all. So digital economy is the future. COVID, whether we like it or not, has proliferated digital technology adaptation and has also shifted labor market trends. Businesses are now looking more favorably to hire short-term freelancers, especially to meet the staffing needs at peak period. Digitalization and also changing economic landscapes needs agile teams that can help test and trial strategies. Freelancers make the best agile team members for companies to test out strategies. While that is the business need, from the young people side, we also prefer flexibility, freedom, and at times remote work as well after getting used to COVID. So according to Stephen Casriel, he's the CEO of Upwork, which is one of the largest digital working platforms in the world. Around 30% of Fortune 500 companies are already utilizing freelancing or digital working platforms in meeting their talent needs. So digital working platforms could be a leapfrog technology, which can bring jobs to youth anywhere in the world at any time, without the need to have to bring in big companies or investors to invest or set up facilities or offices at a specific locality. So now the jobs can be accessed. Doesn't matter whether you are in urban area or rural area, you have the same access to the jobs that are available. So how does digital working platforms work? You will be making a profile listing your skills, qualifications, and your portfolio on any of the platforms that you choose. You could choose a platform based on your niche skills or generalized skills based on your country or language specific. Companies will be listing the jobs that are available or the criteria for the talent that they are looking to hire on the platform. So you will be bidding for the jobs advertised there based on your qualifications and expertise. If you get the job, complete the task virtually and you will get paid virtually as well. In this whole transaction, you will never be meeting anybody in person. At this point, let's say you didn't get the job, don't stop there. Do analyze why you didn't get the job, improve and bid again. And how digital working platform works, it works based on reviews. So the more jobs you do, the better review that people get, the higher visibility you will have, the higher chances that you will have in securing employment. So in this whole digital working platform ecosystem, financial products are the key enabler in making this possible. Financial products that allow long distance money transaction, which enable young people to get paid for jobs they do over long distances. So typically platforms could work for those people that are living very far from cities, major job centers, primary caregivers, single parents, young parents, so you cannot commit to a 9-to-5 jobs, retrenched workers, people that are looking to to shift to different careers, or even looking for additional income, all could use digital making platforms. Speaking of aspirations in the long run, There are potentials to even include vulnerable community members, such as refugees, climate refugees, asylum seekers, even stateless youths to find meaningful employment and income via digital working platforms. As a mean to support their livelihood as they travel through the borders of many countries seeking asylum and citizenship. For example, right now, the displaced Ukrainians could continue to seek and find employment opportunities and income via digital working platforms right now from wherever they are. So these are just examples on how digital working platforms and financial products can enable long distance work, which can empower communities and individuals. So to be working on the digital working platform, you will need an account, either with a bank for a bank transfer or online payment systems such as PayPal, Stripe. Once you have this account, you can work via the digital platform, get paid from anywhere. Your work will also be protected through these platforms as they mediate any issues arising between you and the hiring companies. So what jobs are available? Basically, anything that can be done with a computer can be done as a freelancing job. IT, development, design, creative, finance, accounting, even legal, engineering, architecture, admin, customer support. So is freelancing the end? Can you only use digital working platforms to be a freelancer? No. So you can use the work experience that you gather via freelancing to build your portfolio and use it to seek full-time jobs after. These days, you can also be a full-time worker working remotely. Alternatively, you can also start your own business. You can bid jobs on digital working platform as an agency. So you can bring together a number of freelancers, either with similar skills or complementary skills, and build an agency and bid for jobs. So to wrap up, young people have goals and ambitions regardless of circumstances they live in. So do take the opportunities that long distance financial products and services bring you to access job opportunities that's located far away from your localities. Be gainfully employed and contribute to the global digital economy. I hope this session introduced you to a new way of earning income and building a career. That's
Thank
all.
you so much, Ambika. Another person I need in my life, not because I'm looking for a digital job, but because my daughter is graduating. And I think you need to go and speak to her, Ambika. So thank you so much for that advice around digital working platforms and how they help lift participation across the globe. Very, very interesting. So we're at the end of the speaker sessions, and we're going to open up for Q&A. We have one in the chat, and that first question is, great advice. This one's from Jerry. Jerry says, great advice on saving and investing. Wish I also had this information when I was younger. Quick question. How about inflation? If you are in a hyperinflation environment, should I still be saving of them value or should I still be saving of them value is getting eroded every month? Or when the value is getting eroded every month. Angela, I'm going to pass that question over to you. And then if anyone else wants to chip in, please do. Angela, over to you.
Thank you, Jennifer and Jerry, for that great question. I think when I came right after Hitesh, the first question was, is it enough to just save? We shouldn't discount savings. Savings is a good start. But like you mentioned, right now around the world, inflation is skyrocketing. And we need to find instruments that are going to give you returns higher than inflation. Otherwise, like you rightfully said, your savings are getting eroded and they lose value over time. And so investing comes into play. And that's why investing is key to beat inflation. Now, in markets such as Kenya, I think we have things like bonds, and our bond prices are really up. The interest that it's paying out is really, really good, upwards of 10%. So that's a good place to start.
Oh no, we seem to lost Angela for a moment. Would anyone? Oh, here we go. We're back. Thank you.
I'm back. Yes. And another good tip. Sorry about that. Another good tip is diversifying. We all hear about putting your eggs in one basket. We shouldn't always it's not a wise thing to do in this day and age. We should think of the different options. Like I said, it's very good. It's very wise to speak to an expert to see what are the options available to you at what life stage you are in. And also what personality type you are. You could be a very conservative, particularly with money, or you could be a risk taker. So it's very good to speak to a financial expert. There are options available for you to help you beat inflation. But having said that, never ever neglect the power of saving. Hitesh also mentioned there could be emergencies, they will come. And when they do, you should have a little pot. We always hear the advice of at least have 6 months worth of cash in a savings, in liquid cash, in case of an emergency. And also, there are savings accounts. They might not give us high interest, but it's a place where you can start. You can put your money in that savings account, earn interest on it, but it's available for a rainy day quickly. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Angela. Everyone, keep the questions coming. The next question is Sri Lanka is facing a huge economic crisis. Is investing on a business in a good idea in such a situation? I'm going to pass this one on to Rajvin. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Okay, so this is a tough one to answer in a short moment. I can understand why you're asking this, because on one side, economic crises are, very challenging, but some will say it's also the opportune moment to start something new, right? In any crisis, there is also opportunity for green shoots. However, over here, right, I'll really have to say that you have to look back at your risk profile. How risk averse, how comfortable are you? Because it's a very uncertain time. And whilst I can see why it's exciting to invest in a new business right now, I would go on the cautious side. So maybe look at starting super small, right? Look at your portfolio, how much of savings you have. Look at putting a small amount just to test it out first. Maybe look at de-risking it with a few other friends who are, of course, like-minded with the right skill sets, but maybe not go all in because you want to be able to observe. Ultimately, this is back to your risk profile. What's your risk appetite? If you're comfortable, yes, go for it. But always have a plan B, have a balance, and diversifying your efforts is always good in an uncertain time.
Thank you. Very nicely answered, Rajvin. Thank you. And coming more questions, we've got one from Susie. How can I start investing in stocks and bonds? And I'm going to group that one with, sorry if I mispronounced the name, Olufa 1B. How do we find a good financial advisor, expert to speak to? And how do I know I have the right one? Could I please pass this one to Angela as our investment expert? Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer, and thank you, our audience. You are really asking good questions. How can I start to invest in stocks and bonds? There's very many ways you can do it. You can go straight to a central bank, for example, in your country. You have brokers, but you also have financial experts sitting in banks. In Standard Chartered, for example, we have a wealth team. In the wealth team, we have an advisory business, people who are experts in advising. They're investment advisors. They will walk with you, and I think I'll tie this into the next question. How do you know if you've got a good financial expert with you? These advisors understand you. They work with you. They understand where you are in life. Very important. They understand where you want to go. What are your future goals? And then they map that journey with you. They also are very transparent. You will really pick up when maybe an advisor wants to just make a quick sell, or they want to make, they're just trying to sell something to you. That you can pick that out. That's not a good financial advisor, but someone who understands where you are in life, what your future goals are, and they work towards with you, and they work from where you're starting off as. So there, you can start investing in stocks and bonds. Standard Chartered has good online platforms. You can invest directly from your phone in Kenya, buy, trade, sell. But it's always good, if you're starting your journey, to please get financial expert advice from these experts. And I would recommend come and speak to us. It's free, like I said. We don't charge for this information. So if you do have a bank near you, a financial institution near you, you can start there. And if you're starting your journey now, we always advise to first speak to an expert, and I've given you the traits of a good financial advisor. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. The questions are coming in fast and furious. The next one is from Callison. Would like to find out some of the digital platforms one could leverage by freelancers for opportunities. Ambika, can I pass this one to you, please? Thank you.
Yes, you can. So a few examples that are famous worldwide as Workana, Upwork, Fiverr, Freelancer. So these are the 4 that you can check out. You can always Google to find out what are the digital working platforms that are specific to your region as well. So you will not be competing globally right away. You can compete locally first in your when you are starting out to build your portfolio. You can also look for platforms that are specific to your niche. So if you're a graphic designer, you can look for graphic design related platforms. Yeah, and so.
Thank you. The next one is, I'm going to pass this to Hitesh, because Hitesh talked about, if you spend on what you need today, on what you don't need today, or what you want today, if you buy things you don't need, you may need to sell things for the things you need. And I think that's a great quote from Hitesh. So Hitesh, there's a question here from Priscilla. How about investing on buying luxury items? The only problem with that is there is no place to resell this luxury items like handbags, jewelry, watches. Hitesh, over to you.
Right. So I think, thanks, Jennifer. I think Priscilla has the answer within her question. There is a difference between investing and spending. Uh, Investing can only be considered to have been done in an asset that you can sell. If you cannot sell that asset back for potentially a higher value, it cannot be considered as an investment. So luxury items, while in some pockets and some niche may have a resale value, for example, art, right? Art has become an investment class. However, on a retail basis, we still don't see a market for that. So a handbag, a watch, a jewelry may not be considered a investment in the true sense of the word. And there's a difference. I can invest in gold by buying a coin, but the moment I'm buying jewelry out of that, then it is an expenditure. I would normally, and there are emotions attached to buying jewelry, right? Normally, I would not go back to a jeweler to sell my jewelry because I have a school fees to pay. So let's be very clear. Investment is something that is passive. I can always sell it at a potentially higher value, get the cash when I need, and fulfill my goal. Rest of it is expenditure and spending.
Thank you so much, Hitesh. Very good advice there. Our next question is from Diana. Diana is asking, is it necessary for me to have a successful business as I am also employed somewhere else? That's the first question. Second is, what do I have to do to become a successful entrepreneur? Over to you, Rajvan.
Thank you, Jennifer. Hey, Diana. Okay, so I really like your question, the first one. You've got a full-time job and you're looking at business. First things first, kudos to the effort, kudos to the ambition. Honestly, I think, so I'll share with you personally, right? I was actually in a full-time job as well 4 years ago. I mean, so 10 years ago, I was there for 4 years. And before I made that leap to start BGBG and Mereka, I actually took a year of doing it on the side, right? I took a year of doing it on the side because making that leap from a full-time job to entrepreneurship is a big leap, right? Most of us don't realize that fixed income is very solid, it's very safe, and entrepreneurship is often romanticized as, you can earn unlimited income, you can do, follow your passion, do, pursue anything, but it is also very demanding. So the right approach, I think, would be to first have a few friends, and doing it on the side, Diana, can be tough because it's quite hard to run a business if you're doing it with very little commitment. So first is maybe look at a few partners or friends who are passionate. Maybe if you have an income, try to put a bit of money to get the seed funding going, but definitely take time before you make that leap, because you want to keep that full-time job and have that stability with the entrepreneurship business before you do it. Now, what it takes to be a good entrepreneur, I'll share with you a simple tip that I learned from the Y Combinator series. They're like a big tech incubator in the US. So this guy called Michael Siebel, he shares about too often entrepreneurs want to solve other people's problems that they haven't experienced themselves, right? So we look at something, we're like, I think that needs to be solved. And, we make so many assumptions and we get to there and actually we realize that those assumptions are not true. So always in entrepreneurship, I think it's important to get your hands dirty, to go on the ground, to really solve something that you are experiencing that you know well, right? And if you don't have that experience, look at ways you could volunteer, go on the weekends, go and understand that industry properly, the other players, the challenges, the ups and downs before you make that decision. Successful entrepreneurs are people who know that space really well.
Thank you so much, Rajvin. We are really coming close to time, and I just wanted to spend some time getting some wrap-up thoughts from our panel, and also summarizing this panel a little bit. So I am sorry if we can't get to all the questions today, but thank you so much for them. But before we wrap up and close, I'd like to ask each of our panelists to quickly sum up in their minds, what has been the key takeaway from these conversations today and from what you're seeing on the chat and the enthusiasm around this forum? And also to add on, what is that one thing that you're committed to do to help young people in managing their money? So I'm going to start with Hitesh, and then we can pass it over to Angela, Rajvin, and then Ambika. So we're going to start with you, Hitesh. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jennifer. I must say it's so exciting and refreshing to see the kind of questions coming in with people so keen to learn more about how to manage money. It's a very refreshing feeling. Basis a session, basically, just my closing comments on this one will be, never underestimate, the importance of being financially disciplined. There are people who have asked me in the past as to what is the right age to start saving and investing. The answer to that simple question, as far as I'm concerned, is whichever is the right age to start dreaming. As soon as you start dreaming, you should start saving and investing. And if you have already started dreaming, then you should have started saving and investing long back. So the time is now. Take action, take your future in your hands, and own it. Never be dependent on anyone else, be it family, friends, or anyone else. Never be dependent to fulfill your own dreams. They are your dreams. So at my end, I'm totally committed to helping as many people as I can, whether they can reach me via my LinkedIn, via Twitter, via any channel that they feel more appropriate. Absolutely happy to kind of share my thoughts, my life experiences to help them learn things better. Thank you,
Thank
Jennifer.
you so much, Hitesh. Angela, your takeaway and your commitment to helping young people manage their money, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer and Hitesh. I think from today's session, what I'm really getting is there is a lot of interest, at least in investments, on what I spoke about. And the information is out there. And I'd urge you, I know 1 hour is not enough really to go deep into all the details. So I'd urge you, these solutions are available for you. Don't be shy. Go to the institutions, financial institutions near you, and ask these questions. There will be someone to answer. Read wide as well. Invest in knowledge. Find out. And I think my key takeaways, I'll repeat what I had stressed earlier. Anyone can invest at whatever life stage you are in, including you. You have a big advantage because you are young. You have that opportunity to start early. For you to see the value, you have to be consistent. Make it a habit. Start with the saving that Hitesh had spoken about, and then move to the investment. And then take advantage of the power of compounding. If you don't need it, don't take it out. Just let it keep on growing and growing. Don't underestimate the power of having liquid cash. Have it because of emergencies, but there are places that you can quickly access it, which can earn you interest still. I am committed to helping you answer your questions, so please do reach out to me. I think my LinkedIn handle will be there as well. Yeah, and I will be there to assist however best I can. Thank you all.
Thank you, Angela. And now from Rajvin, looking forward to your wrap up and your commitment today.
Amazing. Such a powerful group. Love the chat. Love the speakers. I would just say that take today as a really good eagle's eye view of what you can do, echoing Angela, go back after this, go deeper into these topics, because it all goes. So now you've got the T, the top part, you want to go on the bottom part to go deeper into each of it to feel it better, right? But in terms of budgeting, career planning, the single most powerful thing you can do is starting something super small. If your plan is to pick up a new course, a new book, start by 1 page a day. It might sound very simple, but trust me, simple goals are the best, and then gradually move from there. So with anything you're doing post today, set the simplest target for yourself and then just incrementally get it going.
Great. Thank you so much, Rajvin. And Ambika, we'd like to hear from you about, what you thought of about today, and also if you have a commitment to helping young people.
Today was definitely a fantastic session. And excuse me for my cough. And yeah, amazing questions. And there was a lot of strategies, practical strategies that were shared by the experts, which will help with financial realities that young people are facing. From my commitment, definitely feel free to contact me. I'll drop my LinkedIn profile in a bit. And what I would leave you with is, as long as you have internet and computer, there is a lot of opportunities out there for you. So do not feel defeated whenever you have faced any challenges. Always find opportunities. Look for things that are available for you. It may not available directly to you at where you are, but due to the global economy, opportunities are there from across the world. Make use of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ambika. I think we've had a brilliant panel. I have learned so much. My favorite part of the whole panel is, learning from everyone, no matter what your age. I am 28 years old, so I think I'm still very young. What Hitesh says is, don't save what's left after saving. Save what is left before spending. That is such good advice. I don't do that. I need to start doing that. Pay yourself first, at 20%. That's fabulous. I love, we said this quote, I'm going to say it for the third time. Angela said it twice, but if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work till you die. And I think that's extremely miserable, because I think our end year should be spent enjoying our hard-earned efforts, and to really get to that stage, right? I mean, Rajvin, he's wonderful template that we're all going to look at to be able to set out a goal, set out our short, medium, long-term goals, be practical, make it simple, make it attainable, and celebrate that when that happens. I think that's fabulous. And the fact that he's sharing and asking everyone to share back and continue to share and improve and learn from one another to make it better for everybody, that's wonderful. And Ambika, you've taught me that to be resourceful, to know that, not the conventional way of working has changed, and digital is here to stay. And there's these digital platforms, and anyone can work from anywhere. And really, I think that's really in line with our Standard Chartered stand of lifting participation, to be able to, contribute to the economy in this very, very new way. And it's just to really go and start and do something. And if you don't get that job, then don't fret, just try again, and then use those to build portfolios when you're looking for a full-time job. And this is such great advice. I really think you would all join me and really agree with me that today, Angela, Hitesh, Rajvin, and Bika, everyone's been so fantastic. They have taught us so much in this short span of time. It shows the power of learning from one another. And to our audience as well, thank you so much for being so engaging, for sharing your questions, your thoughts, your enthusiasm, how you're feeling at the start of the day. It's really nice. You have been a wonderful audience and panel. You have been a stellar panel. And please do stay on and join us for our next panel, which will be discussing the issues and challenges in access to finance for young people. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you so much for having us, and we wish you a wonderful day.